May the Lord give you peace. I'm Friar John Wong, and I joined the Franciscan Friars of the Custody of St. Anthony in 1994. When I joined the Friars, I and most of the other brothers were in our 20s and early 30s. And I remember when our custos, Friar Philip Miscambell, turned 40 that year, we all thought he was such an old man. Well, I think we are all getting on in years. You may remember an earlier video in which Friar John Paul Tan shared with you about the coming of the Friars to Singapore back in the 1950s. Well, what we have here is the foundation stone of the establishment of St. Anthony Friary here in Bukit Batok. You can see it was laid on the 16th of August 1958, and we were part of the then Archdiocese of Malacca, Singapore. At that stage, we were still part of the Federation of Malaya, and over the next 3 decades there would be many changes in terms of political, social, cultural happenings in Malaysia as well as in Singapore that would affect the life of the church and the ministry of the Franciscan Friars. And so it was that in 1991 the Franciscan Friars in Singapore became the Custody of St. Anthony, Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei. In Franciscan terms, a custody is a small entity that often is dependent on a larger entity. In this case, the Custody of St. Anthony in Malaysia, Singapore, Brunei is dependent on the province of the Holy Spirit of Australia and New Zealand. And the intention of setting up the custody here was really the Order's commitment to the life, presence and ministry of the Franciscans in this part of the world. Back in 1991, the custody was off to a very modest start. At that stage, we just had 5 missionary friars. There were Friar Egbert Paas from Germany, Friar Fulgence Gross from the United States, and there were 3 Australians. We had Friar Philip Miscambell, who was the first custos, as well as formator, Friar Brian Lester, the parish priest of St. Mary of the Angels, and Friar Kevin Sheehan, who was the postulant director, as well as being in charge of vocations. At that stage, we had 2 solemn professed Singaporean friars, Michael Goh, who was the first of the Singaporeans to join and to be solemn professed, and Friar John Paul Tan, who was ordained just a year before the custody came into being. Together, these 7 friars looked after the parish of St. Mary of the Angels as well as the formation program for over a dozen young men, mostly from Singapore, but also 1 Malaysian and 1 Sri Lankan. There were various challenges in the early years of the custody, and one of the biggest challenges was that the year after the custody was established, there were 2 deaths within a month of each other. And another year later, we lost the senior-most friar of the custody, Friar Fulgence Gross, as well as 2 of our previous formators who had gone back to Australia. Thankfully, optimism has always been a part of the Franciscan tradition and our spirituality, and so it was that despite the challenges and setbacks that we experienced, the brothers faced the future with much energy and a whole lot of enthusiasm.